In 1958, John Kenneth Galbraith penned The Affluent Society, a seminal work in economic history that explores how World War II fundamentally altered America's public and private sector wealth for the worse. The book garnered acclaim for its departure from conventional economic thought, offering innovative solutions to pressing economic issues. Galbraith, a prominent figure in both democratic socialism and 20th century American liberalism, made significant contributions during his tenure at Harvard University and his service in President Franklin Roosevelt's administration. His legacy includes being a two-time recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. In The Affluent Society, Galbraith confronts a pervasive issue in American society: the rampant overconsumption of goods. He argues that individuals are influenced by advertisers to purchase unnecessary items, creating a culture where spending habits are dictated by marketing strategies. Galbraith contends that relying on outdated economic theories to explain modern phenomena is futile, as these theories fail to account for the complexities of the contemporary world. Unlike the simpler supply and demand dynamics envisioned by early economists like Adam Smith, today's market is characterized by a distortion where supply manipulates demand. Instead of businesses responding to consumer needs, they generate demand through persuasive advertising, leading to unsustainable consumption patterns. Galbraith meticulously dissects the supply and demand dilemma, highlighting its implications for society. Galbraith identifies a significant shift in American economics following the conclusion of World War II. With post-war production rates soaring, the prevailing belief was that a nation capable of mass-producing goods was inherently wealthy, regardless of the nature of its output. However, the challenge arose in persuading consumers to purchase these surplus, often unnecessary products, an endeavor primarily driven by the force of advertising. In The Affluent Society, Galbraith delves into the differences between pre-World War II society and the drastic transformations thereafter. Before the war, and throughout the 18th and 19th centuries, most Americans lived in poverty, lacking the disposable income to indulge in luxury items. Despite any advertising prowess, businesses struggled to compel people to buy non-essential goods. However, post-war, there was a notable shift towards the production and consumption of luxury goods and leisure items. This transition was driven by a desire to display affluence through the acquisition of premium products, prompting producers to meet this burgeoning demand. Today, we find ourselves in a situation where there is an oversupply of goods and a corresponding shortfall in demand. This environment fosters intense competition among businesses, which, paradoxically, can be as detrimental as a lack of competition. The crux of the issue with this supply and demand model lies in its adverse impact on the public sector. As investors pour heavily into the private sector, fueling its expansion, the public sector languishes due to dwindling investment. Consequently, essential public services such as healthcare suffer from insufficient funding. The pervasive influence of capitalism in our society further exacerbates this imbalance, with the private sector continually stimulating new desires among consumers. The distinction between desires and genuine needs is often blurred in our consumer-driven society. Purchasing items like new shoes perpetuates a cycle wherein businesses depend on our continued spending. Galbraith contends that breaking this cycle requires a complete overhaul of our economic understanding. The imbalance between the public and private sectors has led to a neglect of individuals without disposable income. By disproportionately investing in the private sector, essential services are diverted from those who need them most. The North American economy exacerbates this alienation, as those unable to spend money become increasingly marginalized while businesses thrive. Galbraith highlights the paradox of affluent areas plagued by deteriorating infrastructure and neglected public services. Prioritizing non-essential purchases over essential services perpetuates this cycle. The Affluent Society not only diagnoses America's economic issues, but also proposes solutions. Galbraith suggests imposing heavier taxes on consumption to discourage excessive spending on unnecessary products, thereby addressing both global recycling and environmental concerns. Additionally, investing in public institutions, such as schools and hospitals, is essential. Ultimately, the book calls for a reevaluation of America's economic priorities emphasizing equality and general well-being over commercialism. By redirecting focus towards fulfilling basic needs, the nation can confront its mounting debt crisis and address pressing environmental challenges. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please consider giving it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.